welcome back to episode number 11 of our nice little Minecraft series we got going on. And man, oh man, today has been just a rough overall day for me in real life. But, they happen. And yeah. But just kind of like fill you guys in for anyone who cares and doesn't know. Last week I bought myself a new car. And then today while I was working, I'd run out to my car while I was uh, working to get a file I left in there. And somebody hit my mirror. So that was not the greatest to come out to. But things happen. So I gotta pay like $500 now to get it fixed. Just because in the parking lot where it was hit, there is no cameras. And yeah, there's no kind of vehicle around me, so it's kind of like someone just swiped the mirror and dipped. It's not really blows, but life will go on. It'll be all right. I'm waiting for daytime. I want to go out and get a bunch of wood, cause I don't have a ton right now. I don't have any right now, I should say. Why are you not burning? Ow! Come on, come get some. Um, Yeah, so I want to plant some trees, get some wood. Work on the mine a little bit more. But yeah. Yeah, and for those of you who care at all, if anybody, yeah, the car I got, it was a 2025 Toyota Corolla Hybrid. It's a very, very nice vehicle. I enjoy driving it a lot compared to what I had before. Before I just had a very old 2005 Pontiac Sunfire, and that thing didn't have a lot of miles on it. It only had, 150,000 miles on it, but it ended up blowing a head gasket, and it was like, man, it's not really worth messing with this thing, especially for how much I paid for it, which was next to nothing. When I originally got it, and I got it 10 years ago and managed to keep it in good condition and everything, it was just like, man, it's just time to get a new car, get a better car. Now I got this car, and now my passenger side mirror is just all screwed up, so that's fun. But, we'll get it fixed in about like 2 weeks. When my repair is scheduled for, unfortunately. But that's just what happens sometimes. I love the view of the little Aether portal out there. Yeah, I also wanted to fix this. I don't know why. It reminds me of, the future Enderman holes, and I don't like the look of it. Just clean up the landscape just a little bit. Not that big of a deal, but it'll look better. And what I should do, because I don't think these leaves are decaying, is I should just get my flint and steel and just burn all these. See if the fast fire tick rate is on like I think it is. Keep trying to crit stuff. That's just a habit that I just apparently will never break. Which I suppose is not a bad thing. Let's see. Whoops, put that away. Grab that flint and steel. What is up with my clicking today? I'm just clicking all the wrong spots. Fingers are just not agreeing with me. Alright, let's go over here. And let's see if it's the ridiculously fast as soon as it starts burning, it's gone, or if it is just a slow. Oh, it's pretty quick. It's pretty quick. You start it, and once it goes, yeah, there's no real saving that. Beautiful. Oh, that cow got caught in the fire. There we go. That cleaned up this area nicely. Yeah, let's keep grabbing some more wood. How much do I have? I don't even have a stack yet. That's fine. Yeah, and it was like the parking lot where my car got hit. Like, there was cameras, like, around because it's, you know, kind of like a... I don't know, it's kind of on a city street, and on the back side of the city street is where the parking lot is, and all the buildings have, like, a back entrance you can go in besides going on the main street and in that way. But pretty much all the cameras are just aimed at the doors back there and not really into the parking lot, so nobody even had footage to really check and be able to see if I could see anything or not. So it's a shame, but just an out-of-pocket thing that happens. But alright, let's get back inside of the base, and I have some wood now. Let's see where I was at. Oh yeah, I was just one short of where I dug so far. Where are we height-wise? 78? Yeah, I still want to go much, much lower than this. Before I even... Eventually I'm going to try to use TNT and kind of blow more of a natural looking cave. I don't know how much a TNT explosion will look, natural. But, you know, have the minecart track go down these stairs we're digging, and then go from there, try to blow open a cave and kind of like a big open room, and I'll probably take this all the way down to, you know, bedrock-ish, but not manually digging it. So I know I have to mess with plenty of creepers to get the gunpowder I need. Or, like I said, I think in one of the previous episodes that I planned to actually make one of the old mob farms. I have not made a mob farm in a long time, so I don't even, like... Much less do I know the updated method. Do I remember the old method to make a mob farm? Not really, but we'll, figure it out together. And hope for the best. I probably won't do the lava blade technique. I'll probably just do all damage, the best I can. Thinking I will probably take this down to like, 50-ish, 55, something like that for height, and then go from there with TNT. The other thing I noticed I need to stop doing as I'm talking and doing in these videos, because I was rewatching one of them, and it's that right there, is that I just keep saying when I have a pause in one of my thoughts. I just need to, you know, speak the thought, or not speak the thought at all, or, you know, gather my thoughts before I just keep trying to speak. But it's fine. It's a habit that's just stuck, and maybe I'll break, maybe I won't break. And I hope what I'm doing for the wood here, because I've been trying to do it like every 5 blocks, is good enough for light level. I don't think I've had anything spawn. I haven't had, you know, a ton of opportunity to see if anything will spawn. But I think it's good enough light level wise. That's, you know, some we'll get in the future in our F3 menu, but right now it's bare bones. One of the other things that I think is funny, maybe we already missed it, or maybe we get it in the future, is when you push F3, there was a time you could see mobs, like their mob tags above their head through walls and stuff. Don't know how that long that lasted for, but that was a thing. And I remember using that to find dungeons and find caves. Oops. Um, when I was a kid. Just, basically just have a free wall hack. Not sure what version we get that in, but that's at some point. I know I looked at it at some point, but I just don't remember when that version specifically was. I don't really need all of that stuff. Well, let's keep working down on this. How far did I go? I already forgot. We got another 10-ish blocks we'll go. And then we'll call the staircase part good, and then we'll start playing with some TNT and see how that goes and how dangerous that is to my own life. Should have made another pickaxe before I came back down here. And the other thing I'm kind of hoping with this is to be able to find some more resources. So far I don't think I found any. Maybe I found a little bit of iron, but not much, if any. There we go. Need another pickaxe already. We'll go up there and make another 2. I'm starting to run low on iron, especially because I think I lost some when I broke those furnaces when I moved them. I know I lost some bricks for sure, but I don't remember exactly if I lost iron. Plenty of coal. Unfortunate, but you live and you learn. Now I know not to just break furnaces with things in them. Chests are fine. Okay. Back to it. It's also just pretty funny at my work. My coworkers, just constantly trying to talk to me and keep my mind off of my damaged vehicle at the time, because that was very frustrating and upsetting to find out. But it was really interesting because one of my coworkers, I don't know how we got on the subject, but we were talking about height, and he asked, really funny question because I'm short. I'm like 5'5" or something. I don't really care about my height. But he's like the same height as me, maybe a little bit taller, like 5'6", 5'7", and he's just like, yeah, I don't want to be any shorter. And I'm like, man, if I could be shorter, I'd want to be really short, like a little garden gnome height, like a footish tall. Like I think that would just be funny. Um, or I could be tall and I wouldn't care, like 6 footish. And he somehow just phrased the question to me like, so if a genie walked in here and gave you the opportunity where he could just flip a coin for you, and it was 50-50 that you'd either become like 6'4" or you'd become a foot tall, you'd be completely okay with that. And I was like, yeah, let him flip the coin, why not? And he just was like, nope, not happening. Couldn't do it. You couldn't pay me to do it. And I'm like, yeah, I'd take the coin flip. Why not? I don't care about my height enough as it is, so being taller or shorter was fine by me. And I just found it a very amusing conversation. And then he kept talking about time machines and if I'd go back and how I would affect certain events that happened. And I'm like, man, I don't know that I would want to mess with events at all because, I don't know the outcome of them. Then what would happen if, I messed with anything? And then he kept just telling me all his opinions on if he had gone back in time, how he would have changed certain events in human history. And I'm just like, man, you really would have changed things. I should have also probably counted this out before I dug that little area there, just so that the wooden supports lined up at a good height. But, not like it's something we can't fix. Let's see where we're at for. Because do I just bring this up one and then don't have enough dirt, but just do it at this height instead? Probably. I was like, I could go lower, but nah. easier to fill in the blocks that I already broke with something than mine out a whole nother section. Okay. Pick up these extra torches. And now we will certainly have plenty of cobblestone to build what I want to build. Because I've got some builds in mind. You know, I want to finish the little Aether portal area. I want to build, well, that's not going to use cobblestone. That's going to use wood, but I want to build a little boat in that bay area I have that I've talked about a handful of times that I like the look of. What else? What else? What else? I want to build just a little fishing shack. I do want to upgrade my farm. I'm not sure how much of that I will do before I update, but I figured, you know, I've actually burned through a lot of this update stuff very quickly this time around. There wasn't as much as I had thought there was, and it wasn't as, I don't know. Oh, didn't mean to mind that one. Wasn't as difficult to do some of the stuff as I thought it was going to be, or, you know, time consuming, especially finding those other biomes. I thought they were going to be a bit more rare than what they actually were. So we will just spend some time building. Hopefully you guys find it entertaining. Hopefully I can talk and give some entertaining stories or entertainment while I just kind of mindlessly wander around and mine and build things. Okay, yeah, I already burned through like half the wood I picked up, so that's great. And look at this, there we go. We're starting to get plenty of cobblestone. I needed some dirt. Needed some dirt. Wanted some another pickaxe at least one more for the moment. And I don't know, let's grab my 2 TNT and see what damage we can do down there. I'm not exactly sure what I want this to look like, but we'll come down here and figure it out. Because I think, you know, I wanted it to come down the stairs, and I think I wanted to go straight for just a little bit, a couple of blocks, or not blocks, but like pillar sections, I suppose. Gotta keep these supports going on that I've been using. And then just start essentially using TNT to make the path, and however it kind of looks for the most part after I use the TNT is just how it's gonna look. I think I'll essentially mine out like another 5 blocks, and where I would put the supports is where I will put them. I'm not gonna put them now because I'm going to, you know, blow the roof off this place type of situation and just see how the cave will start looking. I don't know. I know there's a way you can like perfectly like mine with TNT and get perfect like square hallways or something. I hope that doesn't happen. I hope that it is more wild. I don't know if TNT is necessarily wild at this time or if it is pretty tame and exact. Okay, so this is where I want the supports, but this is also where I want the TNT to start going. So, I was right. You just punch it, and there it goes. Okay. And then it's just like, I want to keep the supports here, and then essentially just do that. Like, this support is longer now because the ground is screwed up. And we'll have a minecart system that comes down here, but we'll start to use just like planks to be the path. And as the path gets more wild and open, we'll, you know, kind of have it float. Or you know, use logs to support the path. I suppose I should have thought that might reach this far. That's all right. I don't know how much TNT I'm gonna need or how much TNT I'll like use per area, but I kind of want to just let it do what it does. I might have to like poke one in a wall here because it didn't open as wide as I wanted it to. So we might, start making it a little bit wider, essentially do like a 3 wide path of TNT, if you can imagine what I mean. Like this was one, but then do one over here, roughly the same distance, and one over here, and kind of use that. I know I also want to have an area where it just opens up really big and try to make it look like an active mine with other branches going off of it and other kind of minecart tracks. So we'll see how that ends up looking, and eventually this path will kind of lead into a new area, new build, potentially. I don't really know. I just kind of want to have a nice looking mine area, or, an interesting looking mine. So we'll see how that ends up playing out. But I think that is good for the moment. So I think that, yeah, we have some gunpowder. We're low on sand. We're gonna need to collect sand, and maybe next time I will use. Oh, I don't know where I want to put it though, because I want to make a mob farm, but I also really don't want it to just look terrible. Like I don't want to build one of the big, huge mob farms, pillars in the sky. I mean, I might just do that because I kind of have to, or I might like, come here, skeleton. I might see if I can hollow out like one of these mountains-ish. I've kind of hollowed out this mountain to make my base. Maybe, I know that's kind of where the nether portal is, but that's not necessarily the worst to do it over there. But try to kind of hide it in a mountain, either over there, or I think this is too low of an area. I don't really want to do it here. And I don't want it to be super far away. So it's either going to be in this mountain here if it is big enough. Let's take a look. And I will revisit the nether because I do have a plan for what I want to build in the nether and do in this area. Hello. Let's see. Yeah, this is, I think, big enough in this area. So if I do it a little bit past where the nether portal is. It's... You friendly? You chilling? I don't know where that creeper went. To like roughly center it. Yeah, it wouldn't be too far off from where the nether portal is. Essentially put like the entrance here. Just to the right of it. And I can either have it kind of come over here and then this is where it is, or kind of offset it a little bit more over here. But I think that is what we will work on next time. But as always, I thank everyone for watching who's watching has made it this far. But in case I don't catch you, goodbye forever.